Good morning. You found us. Here we are. It's Monday Momentum and Make the Money Honey. Welcome to Monday Morning with us crazy ladies. It's 7 a.m. here in California, and for those of you on the East Coast, 10 a.m., and we just are going to have our quick half-hour Monday morning momentum, get us up and running for the week so that those of you, us, who are solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, and small business people will have our week starting the right direction, the way we want to go, so that when we slide into home base on Friday, we're feeling really good about the week. It's an attempt and a definite effort to set your momentum going the way you want to go instead of the opposite direction so that you feel satisfied with the work you've done this week. We have two guests with us this week, our regular guests, Brenda Graham and Linda Kay. Why don't you ladies go ahead and introduce yourselves, and when you're not talking, please mute yourself if you know about all that background noise. Go for it first, I don't know, Linda.
I'm used to being last, so good morning, happy Monday. It's awesome to be on Monday Momentum, and I am looking forward to learning more about hitting out of the park, so awesome.
So as a baseball team, I don't know much about baseball, but hopefully it's going to work for us. And Brenda, please introduce yourself. Unmute and introduce yourself.
Good morning, Brenda Graham, the Queen of Network Marketing, coming to you from Columbia, Maryland, and it's Brenda Graham, a Success Mentor.
And tell us, what's it like in the East right now? Is it freezing cold and 10 feet of snow, or what?
We still have, I have 7 inches in my yard. I never shoveled, and it's gray, very gray.
Dang, we still need the snow in the worst way. We had about 3 or 4 flakes yesterday, and I got very excited, but then it stopped.
I would love to ship you.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of ridiculous, isn't it? If we could ship you the ski resorts, that would be good too. So our topic today, we want to talk to you guys about how to hit it out of the park on your first month in business. And you know, for the last couple of months, we've been focusing a lot on network marketing, but in particular, that means for many of you, I can't think of the word, not network marketing, but MLM or those kinds of businesses. For those of you who are new to business, you may very first start a business with another company. And that does not mean that our information on these Hangouts is only exclusively for network marketing, because you've all heard me say that it's all network marketing. Building your network is always going to be useful to you no matter what kind of business you're in. But for the last few Hangouts, we have talked about how to pick a business if it's your very first time venturing into the business world. Lots of us do recommend that you start with some kind of a network marketing company if you don't have a really good, strong business idea of your own, because you can learn so much by doing that. Even if it's not a permanent move for you, you can make some money, build your income, build residual income, and learn a lot about business with a good company. So we've talked about that, and today we want to talk about, okay, so now you've picked your company. What are you going to do that first month in business to make sure that you're really glad that you decided to do this, because you're putting some money in the bank? And it's great that we have Brenda with us, because Brenda is really the MLM marketing queen, and the rest of us have done some of that, but may not feel like we're the biggest expert there is, though we do know a lot about growing businesses. So my first question is, you know, for both of you, and maybe for me too, is what are the issues that you run into when someone first starts in a business that really trips them up in the beginning, and then, you know, you run the chance of having them not feel successful and regretting that they even started out to begin with? And Brenda, do you want to start?
I can, because the first thing that everybody does, because by the mere fact that we're all entrepreneurs, we want to do things the way we want to do them. We don't want to, we're smarter than everybody else. We know how to get things done. So the very first commitment has to be that you must follow the system, at least for the first 30 days, because you don't know anything about the business that you purchased. So you need to commit to a trust relationship at least for the first 30 days so that you can actually say, yes, this is going to work. If you don't do that, then your chances of success can be slim to none. So you have to commit to doing exactly what the company says the first 30 days. You must. And most people do not.
Oh,
And
so it
then
really
they
is.
want to, yeah, then they want to say, oh, that company was dumb, it didn't work. Well, really, duh, it wasn't the company, it was that we never followed directions.
Great, I love that. So it's basically don't be bullheaded and think you know it all. Am I right?
Especially about something that you just purchased.
Yes. Yeah, so for all of us who are entrepreneurs, remember that about ourselves. We are a little bit different. And one of the things that we are different about is that we are not afraid often to try something new, and we can be kind of bullheaded thinking that, oh, well, I know how to do this, and forgetting that we don't know what we don't know. How about you, Linda? Would you like to weigh in on this?
Well, my experience is more with conventional businesses, and I think the contrast being when you join an MLM, it's a business that's already been thought out and done for you. The framework is there. The marketing collateral is there. You just have to follow their system. On the flip side of that, I think what trips up business owners that are not part of an MLM is that they spend so much time at the beginning really trying to, number one, identify who they are in the marketplace. And I think they spend way too much time. They have to build their website, they have to create a brochure, they've got to get their business cards done. Yes, those things are all important, and they are things that need to be done for both an MLM and a conventional business, but when you buy into something that's already systematized for you, you get to leverage that and shorten the curve for making yourself feel better when you go out and present yourself. So I think it's really important if you're doing it on your own that, yes, you need all those things, but my gosh, don't spend all your time working solely on those things. Get out there, do the networking, create the leads, start the business, and then backfill with all of your collateral and brochures and things like that as you go along. So I think that's the biggest thing that trips up the independent business owner.
So a lesson from there might be if you know yourself well enough to know that you tend to be a perfectionist and have to get every detail taken care of before you do anything, before you actually take action, then deciding to become part of a network marketing company, you've got to kick your own self in the rear and say, look, they've already done all that work. That's part of why I joined it. That's part of what I'm paying for. Usually you have some fee when you join of some kind. Let me trust them instead of recreate the wheel. So that, that is an issue for many of us. And then for those of us out there who are starting a business on our own, separate from network marketing, again, it is a #1 killer of business to plan and plan and plan and plan and plan and plan and never actually take any action. So, you may need to hire somebody once in a while to help you with the initial stages if you want to get your business cards and your website or all that, but don't let it paralyze you. Is that a pretty good recap of what you're saying there, Linda? Yes, shaking your head. Yeah.
Can't you hear that rattle even through the mute?
Yeah, I can see you. I just can't hear you. So here's my next question then, because it's been my experience with the companies that I've worked with that they usually, if they're a good company, and it might be another indicator if you've got a good company or not, is do they have a structure to help you get out of the gate and really get going fast? Because if they don't, that might not be the company for you. Many of them do, and that might be something you want to look for, is if you've decided, okay, I'm going to go out on my own, I'm going to build some kind of business, I'm looking at these 5 choices, and they're all different products, they're all different companies. If only one of them has a get going started, God, I can't even speak this morning, get going quick, a get out of the gate fast program, that might be the one to take a serious look at, because they've thought of that, and that's part of their success as well, but they know that if you have success quickly, you're going to stay motivated. And so here's my question regarding that. Many of those plans basically are, it's month by month with these businesses. So let's say you only came across this company on the 20th of the month. There's a big temptation to wait. Oh, I should wait until the 1st of next month before I start, because then I'll have a whole month to get these things done, whatever they are, to get me the bonus, to move me to the next step, to triple my income, or whatever it is that you're gonna that milestone you'll reach and the reward you'll get for moving through quickly and following the system. So I'm wondering, because I think that Brenda has something to say about this temptation to wait. Do you recommend waiting if you've got a system, or do you just get going no matter where you are at?
It all depends on the structure of the company. Some companies do flush on the 30th day and they don't care when you join, but many companies have corrected that. So your initial entry date is based on when you enter, and if there are specials that have a time frame, they pick up from your entry date.
Oh.
So that has eliminated that rush. So even if they're giving you, a lot of companies now, they do incentive bonuses for your first 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. And these time frames are put in so that you will really go ahead and get involved in their system, and it's incentive for you to do actually what they tell you to do. And if you do that, you will hit those bonus numbers. And that's where you make your initial money to keep you going through while your residual kicks in. So your initial momentum when you come in, working with the company and their plan, will give you your base foundation for your residual income. So that's how significant it is to pay attention and do what they ask you to do.
And I didn't know that. I have never worked with a company that did not do it by calendar month. So that's really good news, and I think really smart of these companies, that no matter when you come in, you get 30 days to do the first month's worth of stuff, and it's by your start date. And
right. So I'm really working with a company right now that there was a special that went off last night. Well, if anybody signed in last night, they still have their 30, their 60, and their 90 days, which it's a huge benefit.
It's a huge benefit for the leader as well, for not just the new person that's starting out a business, but the person that's bringing them in, because it can be such a challenge when you're leading someone new and you're trying to train them and coach them on how to build a business, when you're feeling this pressure behind you that, oh, if they get it going fast, then I'll get something as well. And some people are not going to be responsive to, you only have a week to get this done, because it's the end of the month, if it was a calendar month system, or their lives are complicated or whatever, and you will lose them right out of the gate, and that's not beneficial to anyone. So I love that change. Yay! Good for whoever.
It allows.
I hope other systems are paying
attention. Integrity too. So everybody can maintain integrity, but their sponsor, because they're not rushing them to something that they don't know about, and also your client, your new recruit.
Yes, and the company, because there are many people out there that kind of don't like MLM, don't like network marketing, and this is one of the reasons that the eager sort of rabid sales things that can come up with people that are desperate to get their last one in because whatever, and nobody likes that pressure. And so the companies that have made this change, I think, are very smart, and I hope the rest of them pay attention to it, because that can eliminate some of that pressure and that negative image. Linda, have you ever experienced that kind of, temptation to kind of wait? It sort of sounds like what you were talking about earlier, the temptation to wait till I have all my ducks in the row before I start the business. But any other comments on that?
Well, I did not know that about the MLM and the different dates, so that was really interesting to learn that. One of the things that I would love to bring out in this session is really inside the success of the first 30 days in the MLM. I think there's probably a way to look at your goals, or a way to look at the milestones, or a way to look at the different things that the system lays out for you that are equally as important to folks that are involved in the MLM as well as those of us that are independent business owners, because we don't have someone coming down and giving us that structure. Brenda, can you share with us what some of those levels might be and how they can apply to everyone?
Levels in what respect, Linda? Do you mean?
Well, I believe it probably has a lot to do with, the goals and the milestones and, the first 30 days, these are the things that you want to get done. You want to get your list done. You want to have a system for networking. You want to make commitments to do whatever.
Okay. So that first 30 days, people, I think they don't recognize the significance of the benefits that the companies are trying to do. What they're trying to do is make you successful right away, right out of the box. Because if people don't make money initially, they frequently will drop off. Because no matter how much you spend, people have an expectation of having some money in their hand at the end of a certain period. So most companies have put something in place where you can earn some money almost immediately the first week. So if you meet a bonus or some kind of goal the first week and there's a monetary attachment, that money is sent to you within 2 weeks. So you have some kind of check. But that first 30 days, and this is the subtle point that a lot of people miss, it's about creating your story so that later on when you're really building your business and month 2 and 3 and a year, and you know all the details about it now, and the pros and the cons, and you've decided what your niche market is going to be, you can tell people your story. You can say, hi, I'm Linda Kay. The first 30 days in this business, I did such and such and such and such, and my first residual check was, or it had a comma in it, or whatever. You can, if it depends on how transparent you want to be. But that's what that first 30 days is about. And because people don't want to follow directions, they miss the opportunity to create that kind of story. So you want to say, I'm Brenda Graham. I just purchased this company 3 weeks ago, and I already have made $2,500 in this company in less than 3 weeks. Or you want to say, I'm whatever their title is. But you have a story. You've created a positive story. You have a money story, you have an emotional story, and you have a title story as it relates to your business. And that's the true function of getting that quick start and that fast start.
So the lesson that I'm hearing there is at least in part the importance of emotion, and how that for the new person coming in, of course, they want to know that they made a good decision, and one way to know that for themselves is the validation of getting some money back in their hands quickly. But the longer term vision for the company is again around emotion, the emotion that's generated when you can tell a story that's positive, that I'm in this company and I made money right away and you can too. And that just saying that again and again yourself keeps you motivated, as well as the people that you're speaking with. So it reminds us all of the importance of having an emotional connection to what it is you're trying to do. It's that other question that we will talk about again, I'm sure, which is your why. What is the reason that's really pushing you to do your new business, whatever business it is, if it's network marketing or if it's on your own? You have to have this compelling emotional connection for yourself to keep you going when times get tough, because they do. We know this about life in general. It has really nothing to do with running a business. If you think it does, I would like to educate you that probably during your life, if you've never had a business whatsoever, you've only gone to school and had jobs, I bet you've still had some tough times. It happens. And so what keeps us going is our faith and our goals and what we're trying to make happen, and that's all emotional. So fabulous. Thank you again, Brenda. Are there other what I'm also hearing you say is that you need to be coachable, and we've talked about this a little bit before on other Hangouts. Can you expound on that some more? That the importance of coming into a business, you're buying a system, you're, saying I choose this company, how can we remind ourselves that that means that we need to be coachable, that we need to be willing to learn what they're trying to teach us?
If you actually focus on not being distracted by self-doubt, friends, family, people who say no, at least for the first 30 days, you have to commit to paying, only being focused on your dream, your goal, and no information from anybody else except the people that you've now decided to place your faith with, and that would be your team in your company. You also have to, most companies, most network marketing and multi-level companies now have just a one sheet, a simple sheet of paper with everything that's required for you in the first week, second week, third week, fourth week. Do those things, you will have success. But I do think people need to read and look at the compensation plan, and when they find the person who sponsored them or someone higher up in the company who actually understands the pay plan, based on what they want monetarily, they need to set their goal and their pay schedule based on that pay plan. So they have to learn and know how to get to that point that they want. So if you want an extra $5,000 a month, or an extra $2,000, or an extra 20, or an extra 30, you need to look at the pay plan, see how that could be done, and the quickest way, and that's the way you would pace your goals, because your goals have to be surrounded and focused on the pay plan. And people forget that.
And when you say people forget that, do you mean the new
recruit? The new recruit.
Also, the leader, the sponsor forgets that. Do they forget sometimes that, hey, let's sit down and look at the pay plan here. You're telling me, because it's been my experience that as a leader, if you understand the why of why this person wants to build this business, which is I need 500 more a month or 5,000 more a month, and why, not just that money, but what's behind it. Then you can sit down and say, okay, this is what you're telling me you want, because remember, you really want to pay off your credit card debt, or you're really trying to make sure that your son goes to college and you don't have enough saved for that. That's the why. So what do we have to do to get you to this number? And okay, it looks like it's going to be this, 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 this. I mean, it's both the sponsor and the new business builder, right?
It is. And when the new business builder says, I can't do this, I can't do that, and it's based on that simple how you get started the quickest and being most successful, the person who's sponsoring them, or the leader, whoever it is, I keep a page. It's like a little tiny booklet on each new person I sponsor, and I have a 10, 15 minute, sometimes longer conversation about their why before we even start into the business plan, because I have to know what their motivator is going to be when they decide that they can't do something or they haven't met a goal. And so I just look at their sheet and I said, didn't you say you wanted to have your check be such and such and such and such, or that you needed to do this by, and I'll have the date written down, and they have no idea that I have taken this much time to write down the things that they told me in our meeting, our initial meeting. So that's what keeps people going. And my sponsor, I expect them to do the same for me.
The value of listening, and listening carefully. And I would suggest to you, Brenda, if you haven't already done it, that you put together a little one-sheet worksheet on how to help your new business builder identify their why and really get down to the nitty-gritty of it. Make that be something that you've got on your website available to all your fans, because Brenda is the queen of multi-level marketing. She's worked with many businesses, and she knows how to lead you to success, and this is one of the tools she uses, and she can share it with us if she wants to. So we only have a couple minutes left. Linda, I want to give you a chance to pipe in here, and what I was thinking about is perhaps, and maybe not, but do you have a story of a time, maybe personally or something that you saw, where somebody was not coachable, and the kind of oops, I wish I had been, that might have happened as a result of that?
Well, I think I probably put myself in that category. I have signed up for a couple different multi-level marketing ventures in the past, and I find that I probably am not coachable when it comes to that. As an entrepreneur, I always think I have a better way of doing it. I want to do it my own way. I've not been coachable, so I can't speak to that. But I guess I have one question, and Brenda can probably answer this, is I hear a lot of focus with the MLMs about how much money you want to make, and whenever you talk about that, it always seems to come back to, you know, working your list and getting other people in under you. How many people in MLM are really successful if they focus just on the product, or do they really need to look at the big picture and do both?
You have to look at the big picture. You have to do both. And you have to make sure you form an affiliation with the company that in their pay plan structure recognizes that most people only sponsor, and it's a weird number, I think it's like 2.3 people. So if you have a pay plan that's based on 3, 6, 9 people that you personally have to sponsor, most people don't make that goal. So you have to look at the reality of that, because most people, that's just the reality. So it's the 5%ers, it's the 2%ers, the people who actually know how to sponsor, know how to recruit. They will always be at the top of the food chain in any business, because that's what it takes. It takes that networking piece. It takes the piece of understanding what people need and want, and actually wrapping that into your business presentation. Sometimes you don't even need a presentation because you know what the person needs. You're just offering them a vehicle that you know they'll be successful with.
But, you know, Brenda, I think you hit on probably why I have not been coachable or successful in MLM. It's the bringing in of the other people. And to me, that was my biggest downfall. So it's interesting to hear you say that, you know, most only bring in a few people. Are those people that only bring in 2 point however many of a person, are they successful? Can they be successful in the MLM business?
Yes, but anybody can be successful, because you remember, all these businesses are based on product movement. So just because you don't know how to sponsor people doesn't mean that you can't sell product. You can't do that. And there's a lot of money in doing just that. So that meets many people's needs. That's why direct sales companies are so successful.
So finding a product that really resonates with someone who is not necessarily comfortable networking, reaching out, helping people grow a business themselves could still be a way to earn good money in network marketing. That's what I'm hearing you say there. Fabulous. You know, that's something that I've also questioned. It seems to me that if you want to make long-term residual income and really substantial income, my experience has been you really need to be able to find other people that want to build the business with you. And what I'm hearing you say is I'm behind the times, and there's ways to do it without necessarily being that big leader of other people. Is that right?
That's right. That's right. And most of the companies have what they call a blended pay plan now, where they focus unilevel and the depth plans, they've amalgamated them so that you're working both at the same time.
So we're just about out of time, and I'm going to ask Brenda and Linda to say adios, and then I will wrap it up. I'm going to be hugging my kid goodbye on his way to school for a second, but Brenda, why don't you start? Thanks.
This is Brenda Graham from Columbia, Maryland, your success mentor, the queen of network marketing. Signing off until next Monday.
And Brenda, how do we find you if we want to connect with you and get you to help us with our business?
BrendaGrahamSuccessMentor.com.
Right there. Okay, Linda.
Awesome. Well, this is Linda Kay from lindakay.com, and as always, I've picked up some nuggets here from the Monday Momentum, so thank you guys for doing this, and signing off.
What kind of work can you help us with?
Well, I can help with everything that has to do with online marketing, whether it's, establishing your business on the web or really making it take off.
And for those of you who are just joining a network marketing company, I'm pretty sure that all of them have a way to do a website now. And if you're new at that, then Linda might be somebody you want to hook up with. So this is Sarah Coolidge. I want to thank you for joining us today, Monday Momentum. I want you to have a rockin' week. Work it. Don't be distracted by the things that can distract you when you work out of your house. But treat it like a job. Get your work done so that you're happy with your results on Friday at 5 p.m. If you are interested in seeing more of our Hangouts, just remember that you can find us on YouTube. Sarah Coolidge. I have a YouTube channel. You can find all of the old we've been doing this for a year, so there's about 50 different videos to watch now. If you want to find me, you can also go to ceospacewest.com. CEO Space is a company that helps you grow your business from where you are now here to where you want to be. We help you close that gap. So please check into it. We'll see you next Monday. Have a great week. Bye.